Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here 2024 episode 4. So at the beginning of the episode, Jane basically said that obviously they're going to be happy when the sun comes out because they're so used to it being raining and cloudy and not good weather that they're actually going to get excited when they actually have nice weather. GK basically said to Danny that he should disinfect his lucky boxes when obviously he gets home, because obviously from that first trial where he was with the snakes, the snake actually kind of went across his crotch area. So she's basically saying, yeah, she would have got rid of her underwear straight away. Danny, Dean and Oti sang a little song. So they were stealing lovers all around by Wet Wet Wet. Feeling it in my fingers, I feel it in my bones. And for the trial with GK and Dean, there was 2 hellholes at the top. There was a hole at the top which one of them was going to be standing in to get keys, but they needed to get the keys with gold, not the keys with silver. The keys with silver wouldn't have meant anything. And then the person in the bottom container would be then handed those keys for them to then swim under the water, unlock the locks, the padlocks, and obviously get the stars from each of the padlocks. So kind of similar to the first trial, but obviously underwater as opposed to lying down with snakes. Dean decided he'd go in the top, and GK decided that she would go at the bottom. And yeah, like I said, they just had to pass. Dean had to literally just grab all the keys, pass them down to Grace. Grace would then swim underwater, unlock the lock, and obviously try whichever locks would work for that particular key, and then obviously win those stars. It was a bit of a difficult challenge, and I think Dean was struggling because obviously he had things around him and he was kind of just finding all the wrong keys, or he was dropping the keys down where she was and she wasn't catching them because they were going onto the floor. And then obviously as he would scream, she would scream, so they weren't kind of working really well together. And that's what Dean basically said. He said, when I scream, she screams. It's a bit of a vicious cycle. And then on deck basically we're like, okay, well don't scream. And he was like, well yeah, it's a lot easier said than done because there's things crawling in here with me. And yeah, I think at one point he was like to Grace, don't look up, because obviously I think he had like some sort of alligator or spider or something in there. And eventually she did manage to like go down to try and put these keys in the locks. It's just every lock she went to, the key just didn't work. So she was trying. It did look quite difficult, especially being in there not on your own. It's like, yeah, if you're not scared of water, fine, but if you're scared of things moving in water like lizards and alligators and the rest of it and eels, you're not really going to want to be confined in that box space. So yeah, they both didn't really do very well there. And at the end of it, GK basically said, you know, I just felt like going for a swim. Like at that point when I just wasn't really doing much, I just wanted to go and, you know, do something. So they didn't get any stars. And Danny basically said that when they came back, it was quite a simple cook for obviously Delvin's diner, because it was kind of just beans and rice, so nothing too much to do. And the 5th trial was called the Lethal Lab. Again, we were introduced to that. We weren't really sure what it was. Some sort of science experiment, some sort of, you know, individual task where they had to kind of go from station to station to station to do some sort of potions, or, you know, be dealt some sort of weird card. And then yeah, have to deal with that. Oti explained that she was a Leo, and Talisa said that her star sign was Cancer. They were talking about Talisa's acting career, and then in 2013 a newspaper set her up, got her in some sort of weird drugs scandal deal, and that she was told that because she's not an actress she wouldn't get the role that she was going for. She was on a trial and she potentially almost was done for 4 years, but there was a driver who overheard a conversation, and initially he was against Talisa, so he kind of was just lying in court when he knew that there were things dodgy going on involving her, like not her, but they were like forcing her to do certain things or whatever. And then in court he actually stepped forward in front of Talisa's lawyers, told the correct story, and literally the case was dropped then and there. So very brave taxi driver to speak up and speak out against the people that he was supposedly working with or for or whatever. But I presume something got the better of him and he thought, actually, you know what, I think I should just tell the truth. So he basically just saved her 4 years in prison and also potentially having that court case as well. Melvin obviously said to the contestants in the jungle that he was a little bit too shy to say hello to Carol Vorderman. He's been like crushing over her, or she's been a crush of his for so long. And Talisa decided that she should prepare like a fake kind of role play date for him to ask her on a date. So she was pretending to be Cara Vorderman and he was obviously being himself. So a little bit, at first he was a little bit forward, and then, you know, eventually he got to the point where he was like, would you like to go for dinner here? I've booked a table next weekend, boom, let's go. And she was like, yeah, boom, let's go. So yeah, Cara Vorderman, if you are watching, Melvin fancies you, which I don't think I should be watching this video. And then Danny and Jane were having a conversation, and he basically said that he was actually underage when he had his first tattoos. He has Springsteen letters on him, Let It Be, a tribute to his granddad, a tattoo saying, don't worry, be happy. And he basically said that he braved and was able to actually escape quite a lot from the past. So whether that was family, whether that was trauma, whether that was friendships, whether that was, you know, just situations, like management, music management, you know, ex-housemates, bandmates, whatever. OT added in that, you know, young guys don't talk as much, and she basically said that her brother died at 16, and obviously for her it's still quite difficult for her to live with. So I think this kind of part of the show, they were talking about kind of like, you know, men's mental health, men's physical health, men being able to like speak up about these sorts of situations. And, you know, it is difficult for guys, I think, especially the younger guys, who they feel like they don't really need to talk to anyone, or they don't want to, or they don't feel like people are going to listen. There are so many people out there, men, women, everyone else who will listen to your conversation and who will listen to your situation. I think there's a lot of people that are actively good listeners. They can talk, but they also are able to actively listen as well, and I think I'm one of those. So, you know, if there are people out there that just want to talk or just need to rant, like, I'm happy to listen. But yeah, again, it just depends who sees this video. Melvin was also singing No More Rice and Beans. Danny and Oti were joining in, and Danny basically said that they needed to make dinner creative, with people making their own fritters. So obviously they had beans and rice, but they had the rice in like little weird shapes, almost kind of like a potato. And then in terms of the trial, again for episode 5, well, for trial number 5, it was either going to be Danny or Dean, and the public had chosen Dean once again. Danny said, I thought I was going to be doing it with you. And yeah, right at the end of the episode, we found out there were going to be 2 new campmates joining the Celebrity Jungle, but obviously their names weren't mentioned. You kind of just saw little snippets of them. One of them very recognisable. One of them, you kind of know who he is, but I don't really know where he was from. But yeah, we found out that those 2 were going into the jungle. So they would be then from 10 to 12. So yeah, that's it with episode 4. So if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. If you are staying on for the weekly review, then I will see you very shortly. But until my next review, thank you very much and goodbye.